Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Kyle Downey, and this is the Sports Download, the show where a Los Angeles native talks sports from a fan's perspective. I might not be unbiased, but I keep it honest and real with you. So, we start off the show today, again, apologizing to one Michael Malone, coach of the Nuggets. I'm sorry that we're not starting the show talking about how you got whooped by the Heat. I really would like to start the show with that, but considering that we're a Los Angeles fan base show here, we gotta talk about how LeBron wants to be a LeMaverick, or LeBron might be a LeMaverick on the friggin' Dallas Mavericks. Is it gonna be the Dallas LeMavericks? What is happening there? That is crazy. We're gonna start with that. So apparently it broke yesterday that Kyrie Irving, who is on the Mavericks, well, he's a free agent. He was on the Mavericks this past season, and he's looking to re-sign. I saw reports today that he's looking to re-sign so that the rumors can be put to bed about him being a Laker. Also, the Mavericks can offer him the most money. Like, he tried to trick us last time where he said that he was going to be different. He wasn't different than anybody else. He took the most money possible by staying with the Nets, and now he's with the Mavericks. So apparently, that Kyrie Irving, that guy, has reached out to LeBron James to see if he wants to come and be a Maverick. And that would entail LeBron, Kyrie, and Luka playing together. It would be a 3-star model with some role players, but they would seriously have a difficult time forming a good team on the margins around that, because all three of those guys will make a lot of money. First of all, I think this is highly improbable. I saw this and I was like, what? Hold on. What? I was like, what? I think it's highly improbable. I think it's not impossible, but I don't think it's happening whatsoever. I saw that Jovan Buha said that maybe the Lakers would listen. They would listen. Not maybe. They would listen if they were going to trade Luka. But Mark Cuban said back in the day, he joked he would rather get divorced than lose Luka. Like, he said he would say, sorry, honey, that was the joke, because Luka's that good of a player, and the Mavericks, they don't get players. So they ain't trading Luka for LeBron. Even though LeBron's great, he's still probably a better player than Luka. They're not going to do that. So you're talking about Kyrie playing with LeBron and Luka. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It would need to trade, and I think the Lakers aren't trading LeBron. Even if he asked for a trade, they're not. And if they do trade him, they would be looking to get a huge package for him. They would be looking, if you're talking Mavericks, then yeah, they would need to get Luka back. And then that ends the negotiations right there. We can just play it out. But also, it's just weird. Like, the whole story, the story comes out from Chris Haynes talking about, they were looking to trade for LeBron last year. LeBron wasn't eligible to be traded when they were struggling in the regular season, in the beginning of the season. He wasn't eligible to be traded last year. He wasn't eligible to be traded until the post-trade deadline of last year. So I don't know what's up with that story. It seems like it could be a favor for Kyrie. Kyrie is trying to, I don't know what the leverage play, there's no leverage. I don't know what the alternative is. Maybe because he's not getting the money right away, or that the Mavericks seem like they want to re-sign him because they traded so much for him. They traded their depth and draft picks for him. They want to keep Kyrie, but they might not want to give Kyrie a max. Kyrie, as great of a player he is on the court, he's not always on the court. He's not always there, whether it's, and he's injured sometimes. He has an injury history. But it's not just the injuries. He's flaky. He sometimes wants to be like, I want to take a week off during the season. He's not available to just be there even when he's healthy. And that, I mean, come on. Like, you would have to be insane to just, I'm going to right away give Kyrie Irving all this money, the max money. Here's the bag, buddy. Like, you would be crazy to do that, because if you've watched what Kyrie has done in the last few years, he's in a championship situation with LeBron. See ya, LeBron, I want my own team. Go to Boston. Boston, hey, thank you for trading for me. I'm going to be here forever. Nope. Never mind. I want to leave. Trade me to Brooklyn. or I'm going to Brooklyn to join KD. He joins his best friend KD. They blow up that franchise for them, and then he's like, all right, well, I'm out because they ain't trying to give me max money. And in between that, he wasn't available. He didn't want to get the COVID shot, and I know that's controversial, but in the NBA, you had to get the shot in order to continue to play. He didn't want to do that, and then he was talking about starting his own league in the bubble and all this craziness. And then you have the anti-Semitism video that he posts, and he didn't research it well, and it wasn't well thought out. And then he took time off just to go like spend time with family. And I get that, but you can't take time off and then your coach don't know where you are, or your GM don't know where you are. Like, you can't go AWOL. You know, Cedric Ceballos did that back in the day, but Kyrie has done it several times. And several times where it's not just injury, it's just other reasons why he's unavailable. At times it shows that he doesn't want to be a full-time basketball player. Like, he would rather be a part-time basketball player, it seems like. I mean, he plays in games, but he doesn't seem fully invested. And I know that LeBron could possibly get the max out of him. I personally wouldn't want him on the Lakers. I don't want LeBron to leave, but I don't think that this is happening. So, because of the way Kyrie has been in these last few seasons, you can see why the Dallas Mavericks would be hesitant to just all of a sudden give him all the money in the world that he's eligible to get. The key word there is eligible. It still can be negotiated. Doesn't mean that they have to, and it doesn't mean that they have to give him max years either, because even if they put themselves in a corner, which they did, where they have to keep him, they still don't have to give him a bunch of years. I mean, unless he's like, oh, I'm not signing, like, I'm going to retire. Or the Kyrie market is not huge. It would be, it would be the Lakers, but they have expressed interest to keep Austin Reaves and Rui, and which I agree with. It would just be too costly to get Kyrie at this point for the Lakers. I don't know who else would go and get him. Maybe, I don't know, I'm just speculating, maybe Phoenix, but even then, like, we saw what happened. Kyrie and KD were good players, but Kyrie is not always invested 100%, it seems like, in playing basketball for a living full time. So it was just a crazy league. Like, I don't know if that's a favor from Shams Charania to Kyrie, so that they can keep getting, keep that relationship going, so that they could keep leaking news and stuff like that. And Chris Haynes as well. I mean, they're really good reporters. I just don't see the trade happening. It's not impossible, but it's improbable. And it's just crazy. The thing that is eyebrow raising is that this is coming out during the NBA Finals. Not even, this is silly season. This is like peak silly season in the off season in the summer, and it's kind of early that it's coming out. So I think if it has anything to do with LeBron, I think LeBron, he's expressed it in the presser after they got swept. He doesn't play for conference finals. He doesn't play for that. He plays the game after all his success. The man's been to 9 finals, 10 finals. So he wants to be in the finals. He wants to win that Larry O'Brien trophy. He wants to win championships. He said a long time ago he's chasing Michael Jordan. So maybe that is what he's trying to get. I'm sure he'd love to play with Kyrie, but I don't see him going to Dallas. He's in LA. He's got all his business in LA. His son's enrolled in USC. He's going to want to see He's going to want to see Bronny play at USC. I don't see this happening. I think if anything, Kyrie's trying to get money, and if it has anything to do with LeBron, I think that he wants to get help to where he get in the finals, because LeBron is still great, but he can't be your best player every night anymore. So he needs help, and I love you, LeBron, but just get him to bolster the depth. Stop trying to get a third star, especially with all these cap, with this new CBA and everything. I don't quite have all the details and understand fully what this second apron of the CBA is, but I know that it's going to be stringent, and that the Lakers and basically all the teams are not going to want to go into further cap themselves, because not only is it costly, but you could not be able to get second round draft picks, extra second round draft picks, I think, and taking on more money in trade deals. So it's very punitive. So we just need LeBron, AD, and get them good depth around them. I said, I would say LeBron, make sure that we keep Austin Reaves. Put the pressure on them. Make sure we keep Austin Reaves. Make sure we keep Rui. Make sure we keep Vando. He's on a good deal. They're going to keep Vando. Make sure that keep D'Lo, if nothing else, for his salary. And, I'd love it if we could keep him and he could play well in the playoffs, but you can't risk it. You can't risk it with, LeBron has like maybe 1 or 2 more years. So I would say keep D'Lo and keep him on the salary so that we could trade him. We could trade to further improve our team. Because, ideally, I would want to keep D'Lo and maybe like sign him and trade him and get somebody like Fred VanVleet, who's a proven winner and a proven clutch shot hitter and a champion in his own right. That would what I would want to do. And Mo Bamba and Malik Beasley, re-sign them and see if we could trade them, and trade the pick that we have. I think we have the number 17 pick, and just try to just keep that core of LeBron, AD, Rui, Reeves, Vando, and then do what we can to bolster around them. Excuse me. Do what we can to bolster the team there. I know that LeBron has always thought in stars, and he's won most of his championships with the Big Three in Miami and the Big Three in Cleveland. But times have changed now. These guys make so much money, and the way the cap has gone up, but the way it is, it's proven now that you win with 2 superstars and role player depth and good role players around you. That's how the Lakers did it in 2020, and it's been like the last champions from 2019. The Raptors, 2 stars in depth. The 2020 Lakers, 2 stars in depth. 2021 Bucks, 2 stars in depth. 2022 Warriors, pretty much Steph Curry and Andrew Wiggins was maybe the second star and a lot of depth. And then 2023, we'll see who it is, if it's the Nuggets or the Heat, which they're tied right now. So we'll see what happens there. But that's what we have to do. I'm totally a Big Three is very tantalizing, it's very tempting, but LeBron, we just need you healthy. We need AD healthy, and we need some depth around us. We don't need a superstar. Just get those star in your role players. Get all these players that can play their role. And look, y'all went to the Western Conference Finals without a training camp with that team, with playing like a third of a season. Let's get most of those guys back, and let's hit the ground running come September. So yeah, that's just a crazy story. Kyrie, I'm sorry, dude. I don't know what you're doing, but you ain't getting LeBron. I'm sorry. I know y'all want to play together. Y'all should have done it in last summer or something like that. we should have got Kyrie last summer. But I didn't want Kyrie because of the whole anti-Semitism tweet and all this stuff. I don't think he's an anti-Semitist, but I think that he's too much in YouTube, and he's not watching the sports download. He's watching weird stuff that is going down a weird rabbit hole for him. So, all right, Michael Malone, we will finally get back to your Nuggets losing in Game 2. What happened, Mike? What happened, Michael? What happened? So the Nuggets, since we last recorded, since y'all last saw me, the Nuggets won Game 1 pretty convincingly. They were up by 20 and then ended up winning by 11. They let the lead slip, but they looked dominant. Just hitting shots and defense looking good. But Miami came and smacked them in the mouth, Game 2. It was a battle. Miami was up. They lost the lead. But Miami was hitting a lot of three-pointers. They had a higher three-point percentage, and they had a little bit less field goal percentage, but they had a higher three-point percentage. And just everybody, Jimmy Butler had a solid game. Bam had a solid game. And the role players like Gabe Vincent and stuff hitting shots. Kevin Love gave him some minutes, and that was an adjustment that came up that Spoelstra did, was he started Kevin Love, and he was able to adjust there. He lost some defense there, but he gained some offensive presence. And Kevin Love's just a veteran player. He's won a championship before, and he's been playing a long time. One of the best outlet passes ever. He had a cool outlet pass in that game. So, yeah, what's up, Michael Malone? How you gonna adjust? How you gonna adjust? What's popping? No, I still think the Nuggets are obviously the favorite, but Miami, they figured something out, and they had fight, and whether they had more energy than the Lakers, because I think the Lakers are a better team, but we had D'Lo no show, and we had LeBron and AD were tired, and their feet were not 100% healthy, and your feet are very important in athletic competitions in the NBA game. So, they have to rest up and heal up. Miami's tired. They played 7 games, but they got fight in them, and they're pretty healthy. I mean, they might be a little banged up, but they're pretty healthy for the most part. And Eric Spoelstra is one of the best. He's probably the best coach right now in the NBA. He's just so smart and so good with his tactics, and he's just very, very good with adjustments. He's a very smart coach. He's probably the best coach. And then you could say like probably Popovich is next, but Spoelstra has figured out, and Miami has figured out how to do more with less. And not say that these guys aren't talented, because they find these guys that could be NBA players. But it's kind of like the Lakers have a little bit of this too, of the scouting. Like we found Austin Reaves, we found Alex Caruso through the G League, undrafted Austin Reaves. But Miami does that with a lot of guys. They're kind of like the Dodgers, where they find players, and they find them where these guys have been like left on, cut from teams and things like that, and they put them in their system, and they get in a great shape, and they become NBA players. They become good NBA players and useful NBA players. They have that Heat culture. They have that part of the narrative, but they're going to have to hit 3-pointers, because they don't have enough size for Denver, and they don't have as many skilled players. I don't think their Bam Adebayo is good, really good player, but not as good as Jokic. Jimmy Butler, I think, is a better player than Jamal Murray, but then when he comes down to the role players, they have more skill, and they have better role players. But Miami got that fight. They got that dog in them, and they got that dog in them, and they will give it to you every single possession. And I think that they got used to the altitude, and I've seen a lot of jokes like, oh, well, how is Denver going to play at sea level? So, or below sea level. So we'll see if that affects them going down to Miami. But no, it won't. It won't. But Miami's a really good team, and they have a great coach, and they probably have the better coach in the finals right now. Nothing against Michael Malone. He's a good coach, but he's not as good as Spoelstra. And so that is the edge that they have, but Denver has the edge in talent. We just have to see how that plays out. I think that it was looking like it could have been a sweep or a 5-game sweep. Like I was saying, Miami's done. But, hey, Miami came out and they cooked the Nuggets, game 2. So let's see. I thought a sweep, gentleman's sweep, but now I'm thinking Miami could take 2, put it to 6 games, and, maybe they could take 3, put it to 7 games, and we'll see who wins. I still think Denver's probably favored, but now they're either gonna win. I say Miami could take 2. I'll put that much in Miami. They could take 2, so maybe Denver wins in 6. But hey, it's professional sports. You never know what's gonna happen. Speaking of never know what's gonna happen, who would have thought that Austin Reaves would be playing on the U.S. team? Now, I know some people are worried that, how's our U.S. team going to look? First of all, it's the FIBA World Cup 2023 this summer, it's not the Olympics, so we'll see what our roster looks like next year. Hopefully, we can get more superstars to play next year. But this is really good for Austin Reaves. I'll be worried. Hopefully, he doesn't. Hopefully, he gets enough rest in between. The training camp starts in August for the FIBA World Cup, but this would be really good for him. It'd be really good for him, and he's gonna join Anthony Edwards and Schroeder and some other guys. I haven't seen the full roster, but I did see that Austin Reaves is gonna join Anthony Edwards. And I believe I saw Bobby Portis is gonna play too. This will be good experience. This will be good for. I mean, as long as he's like treating his body right and that he's ready for training camp and doesn't get hurt, knock on wood. I hope he stays healthy. But this would be really good. And I saw an interesting question. On one of those. I forgot who brought it up. But somebody was asking like, it was. I'll give him credit. It was a Slam Dunk on Channel 7 on ABC. The question was, what should Austin Reaves work on? And we saw a huge leap from Austin Reaves, undrafted rookie, had a good rookie year, kind of hit the rookie wall, but still looks good, still looks great for a rookie, undrafted last year. And this year takes a huge leap. And then they put him in the starting lineup. They make all his trades. He gets the ball in his hands more, and he looks great. He's averaging like 17 points a game and averaging like 4 or 5 assists. He looks like a stud in the making. He looks like he could possibly be an all-star player or a fringe all-star player at least, and that is huge. He is so important for the success of the Lakers moving forward in the near future and in the long term. So they have to re-sign him. Please, Lakers, please make sure you re-sign him. Match whatever. I don't care if somebody offers him 4 years, $100 million. You do that because you don't want to see him walk again and the fans get mad at you and riot outside of crypto. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. So he's made a huge leap. I would say one of the main things that Austin Reaves should work on is his handle, his ball handling, because he's a combo guard. I think he could play point guard. He's a shooter. His shooting, I think, continue to improve on that. Continue to keep those numbers up high because he made a dramatic leap in hitting threes. And with LeBron and AD getting attention in the paint, he's going to be open, and he's going to need to be able to hit that open three, which he did. I think he was incredible. He was incredible. It was in the high 30s for sure. His 3-point percentage was in the high 30s. But I think ball handling. I think work on his handle, work on his dribbling, work on his dribbling moves, kind of be able to post up the smaller guards, maybe some post moves, but yeah, like running the offense, ball handling. If he got a little better handle, he'd be unstoppable. I saw him; he was hitting some step back. He has some like good like old man YMC moves when he gets in the post with the pump fakes and drawing contact, drawing fouls that way. But if he improved his handle and stays a consistent, really good 3-point shooter, he's gonna be a nightmare. And also like maybe just lift. I know he was excited to lift when he came into the NBA. He didn't really lift that much, but add some muscle. He's 6'5", but he's a little thin still. But if he added some muscle, got a little stronger, and then work on his handle and maintain the success that he's had shooting threes, he's going to be a nightmare for defenses. Like he already was. He already yelled out to everybody in the Grizzlies series, I'm him. Like he already said that. He is him. He is Austin Reaves. Improve the handle. He's going to be a nightmare. That would be what I would say to improve upon. Shout out to Rob Fukuzaki and the ABC 7 team for that question. I took y'all question. Sorry about that. Thank you for letting me borrow that. But But yeah, I would say he work on his handle and work on like running the offense. Like they gave him the ball more, and he looked really natural. Like LeBron is giving him the ball in playoff series, and it looked really natural. So he looked like he's the type of guy that's not afraid of the moment. He's not afraid, even if his play is not there. He's still gonna be. He's even if he's like not hitting shots, he doesn't get down on himself. He goes out there, he works hard, gets rebounds, scrappy, he plays defense, and scores where he needs to, like take it into the paint or get some good assists or something. And he can run the offense. I think he played point guard I think he played point guard a little bit in college. I would say get a better handle and practice running the offense more and keep that consistent shooting up, and he's gonna be a nightmare. And gotta keep him Lakers. Gotta re-sign him. I know y'all will, but just make it sure. Don't mess it up again. Don't mess it up again. Don't be letting these guys walk. And re-sign Rui too. Rui's a good player. Rui's a really good player, solid player. So that's what I really want for them to do is keep this depth together. Really do. And as I mentioned, I would want to re-sign D'Lo, and probably trade him if we could sign and trade to get VanVleet. So VanVleet, I really like VanVleet. I remember watching the 2019 finals. I had broken my ankle, and I was going to therapy. I was going to physical therapy for my ankle, and I would talk sports with the guys, and one of the therapists started calling me VanVleet because I love VanVleet, man. That guy, he was my guy. I wanted the Warriors to lose, so I was rooting hard for the Raptors. And VanVleet was balling, man. He was hitting threes, crossing up dudes. Like, he is a scrappy guard. He's only about like 6 foot, 6'1", but he can play, and he's really, really good. Plays hard on defense. That's who I would trade for if we could get somebody. Because he's a dependable guy. He's a professional. He shows up to work every day. That's who I would want. VanVleet, and he can hit threes. I love D'Lo, man. It sucks because I remember when he was traded, I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess he's young, and he's young. The whole Nick Young thing where the video leaked of Nick Young talking about he was cheating on a rapper. Can't think of her name right now. Oh, Iggy Azalea. So that whole thing, that whole fiasco. But he was really young, and I don't know if D'Lo really did that. I don't know if it was he got hacked or what. But he had to grow up. He had to grow up, and so I was excited to have him back. And he's a good 3-point shooter, but he wasn't hitting clutch shots in the playoffs. And he looked good in the Grizzlies series. He looked okay in the Grizzlies series some games, in the Warriors series some games, but you need more consistency, especially when those threes are gonna be there. Those open threes, because he was getting some attention, but when you have LeBron going to the basket, AD going to the basket, you need consistent 3-point shooters because there's gonna be open looks. And when they just weren't falling, like he was shooting 13% in the Western Conference Finals, like that is dreadful. And I don't want to give up on him, but he's been in the playoffs before and hasn't really seen success and has been missing 3-point shots like that in the playoffs before. So, he's been in the league a while, and this might be who he is, like a good regular season player. And we need him. We might need to keep D'Lo at least till the trade deadline. And it sucks, man. I hate it because these people are human. These players that we talk about, they are human. But the thing that we love about sports is it's a meritocracy. It's based on merit. It's what you go out there and do, what you produce. It's based on production. It's not. It's like Darvin Ham said. It's facts over feelings. Like, I love you, D'Lo. I wish you success, but it's facts over feelings. If you're not hitting shots, then I would want the Lakers to go out and get somebody that will. And if that's possible, that's what I would say. If D'Lo doesn't get traded and we can re-sign him and maybe find somebody to trade him for at the deadline, because it's good to have multiple ball handlers, multiple guards that can handle the ball. Like somebody to pair with Austin Reaves would be good, or maybe Austin could step up and be the starting point guard. I'm not sure if he's quite there yet, but maybe. Before, like when the Lakers won the title, LeBron was the point guard. LeBron was the point guard throughout the whole season in the playoffs in 2020. Excuse me. When the Lakers won the title, LeBron was the guard, was the point guard. And he's always been a point forward, but now that he's older, he can't be running the offense every night because it's tiring. Dribbling the ball and running the offense is tiring, and he needs to save his energy during the regular season to get to the postseason. And yeah, in certain moments, maybe if you need in the clutch moments, he's the guy to trust with the ball. Maybe that, but that can be tricky. So you want him to, it's like, it's LeBron, he can handle the offense, so give him the ball when you need it to happen. But it's nice to have a point guard to take the burden off him. I remember Kobe said he wished he had that more, and I think he did with Derek Fisher, but also Kobe just like ran the offense a lot. Like Michael Jordan had, was it BJ Armstrong, and I think, was it BJ Armstrong? Anyway, Michael Jordan had guards. You know what I mean? Michael Jordan didn't have to run the offense all the time. And LeBron's going into year 21, so now we're at a place where he shouldn't be your point guard every night, and even every night in the playoffs. There was plenty of playoffs games where the ball was running through, the offense was running through. D'Lo was running the offense, Reaves was running the offense, and even sometimes Schroeder was running the offense. So we need, if we don't keep D'Lo, and if he can't stay and improve in his clutch three-point shooting, then I would love to trade for VanVleet. I don't know who else is, but I think that is possible. I don't know if Toronto's interested. It depends on what they're doing. Like, it depends on what Toronto wants to do. But also, I think VanVleet's a free agent, and that way, at least the reason I see it's possible is I don't know who wants D'Lo because they all saw how he's missing shots. But also, you don't want VanVleet to walk for nothing. If VanVleet walks for nothing, then that's what you don't want. Then you lose that salary cap, you lose that salary slot, and you can't replace it. And Toronto's got a smart GM. It's kind of scary to negotiate with Toronto if that ends up being like a more serious trade negotiation, because Masai Ujiri, their GM, is a really smart guy. He's probably the best or one of the best GMs in the league now. So, but I would love it. I would love VanVleet to come here, man. I would love that. That would be so cool. I think that would be a really good team if we can keep the core and get VanVleet. And LeBron, I know you want Kyrie, but VanVleet, man, he can hit threes. He can shoot threes, and he can run the offense. You want a guard? I'm telling you, LeBron, that's what you need to be pushing. VanVleet. Push that. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate it so much. Please like and subscribe. Hit me up with a comment if you want me to talk about a certain topic or a certain player or a certain story that's going on. And catch y'all guys later. Appreciate it. Peace, love, and God bless.